When I was growing up, everyone else's feed was filled with memes and models. Mine was filled with fitness and entrepreneurship, but I still didn't do anything. I'd come home from work and school and sit on my phone and scroll, game, or watch TV shows. I still wanted to do something, to get in shape and become someone, but I kept telling myself I didn't have the time, the energy, or I just didn't feel like it. And you know how it goes. One day, you get a burst of motivation, so you start for a week, a month, or a year. But when it gets tough, you quit. You still believe in yourself, you still know you have the potential, but your actions say otherwise. I'm not where I want to be yet, but now I keep going no matter what. And that's what you have to understand. It's your habits that shape your future. Outcome follows action. Action follows thought. And that's what this video is about. A lot of people want the result without the work, the reward without the effort. They want the tree without planting the seed. It doesn't make any sense. I think a lot of people have bought into that manifestation culture of visualizing, using lucky numbers and horoscopes. But sitting at the bottom of the mountain, thinking you'll get to the top, or dreaming about getting to the top, won't get you there. I'm not saying don't dream. Creating a vision is good. But like I said before, it has to be paired with effort. And you also have to be strategic. Having a dream but not having the tools to get there is just wishful thinking. You need to assess the tools you have at your disposal, the skills and opportunities, and if you have what it takes to build the life you want. If you don't, your first job is to acquire those skills and opportunities, and that again takes effort. People aren't patient. They have the potential, they make plans, but they don't see them through. They set big goals with short deadlines and unrealistic expectations. And obviously, social media plays a big part in that. There's people who claim to have overnight success, whether in fitness or business. They sell you dreams of fast results, and we buy into what they say. We start looking for shortcuts. When one doesn't work, we look for the next. But the truth is, finding a shortcut that works is the longest path. I'm not sure if I came up with this quote or if I heard it somewhere else, but I like to keep in mind that time works for those who are patient and against those who are not. And that reminds me of something I took from a book called Mastery by Robert Greene. In it, he says it takes 10,000 hours to become a master at anything. So if you work for 4 hours a day, it'll take you almost 7 years to reach the top. And that might seem like a long time, but it's not. And during that time, you're going to see results anyway, just not the massive jump you expect. Nowadays, no one is willing to put in that time and effort. They're not willing to reach the level of a master. But if you're willing to put in that time and effort that no one else is, you will then start getting results that will make everyone else ask how. I think we've all suffered from perfectionism, but all it does is make us hesitant, indecisive, and uncertain. We feel like we need to have everything thought out and planned. That just stems from our fear of failure and uncertainty, and it stops us from starting. But you have to realize that failing to start is failure in itself. So to overcome perfectionism, we need to overcome our fear of failure. And you do that by first accepting that failure is a possibility. And second, by trusting yourself more. You don't need to know everything from the start. Just make a decision, take action, and figure it out. You're probably also worried about time and reputation. First of all, time will pass no matter what. And as for your reputation, no one else's opinion should matter more than your own. You'll respect yourself more for trying than if you never gave it a shot. An F1 driver called Mario Andretti said, "Don't look at the wall. Your car goes where your eyes go." And that is true, but life is full of obstacles. Some people will run into the wall and crash. Other people use them as stepping stones. The people that crash are the people that think life should be easy. They set big goals, and when it gets tough, they quit. Then all they do is complain. They spiral down that path, and they attract other complainers, other people that aren't getting anywhere, people that will keep them down. They don't take accountability for their actions. They think that life isn't fair. The other personality type are action orientated. They are focused on goals, they meet their deadlines, and they're the people who are more likely to achieve the outcomes that they want in life. And you can transition by cutting back on complaining, well, not complaining at all, because it isn't productive. All it does is take the weight off your shoulders, and that just reduces your drive to change. Second, take accountability for whatever happens in your life. When you actually look at things objectively, life isn't fair or unfair. It just is. And everything that happens in your life, you had a part to play. When you pair that mindset with ambition, the mindset of radical responsibility with your underlying ambition, you're naturally going to start carrying out the actions that will take you towards your goals. So as I've been saying throughout this video, thoughts determine action and action determines outcome. By breaking the 4 thinking patterns I've mentioned in this video, self-pity, wishful thinking, short-term thinking, and overthinking, you'll naturally stop being lazy and carry out the actions that you need to take. You'll also create a bridge between what you see in your head and reality itself. That's when you'll start to deliver all the things that you've only ever talked about.